everybody. Greg here. Just want to introduce you to the channel. We're a group of Canadian Magic players who love the Commander format. Like most groups, we have different play styles and different strengths and weaknesses. I hope you find our weekly broadcasts entertaining and maybe even be able to learn something. Yeah, we'll have some fun and all the laughing and saltiness comes with learning Magic together. So we'll be releasing new episodes about once every 3 weeks. We'd love to have you shop our store at www.tabletopgiant.ca. Invite you to join our Patreon account. We love your support. And also you can join us on Discord. The links are in our YouTube channel. Thanks to everyone who made this happen. Aaron and Lucas are there every week. Thanks to our weekly guests who rotate in and out. Conrad for our live edits, really appreciated. My wife for her support and coaching. Mark and the team over at Faux Pas Media for the equipment and the space. And we got Jimmy and Allison over at Happy Computers who made a generous donation to help make this happen. And of course our Patreons for your support. It's going to help us grow, get better equipment, maybe even have more frequently, be able to put stuff out more frequently. And we're made in one of the prettiest towns in Canada, in Goderich, Ontario here. Anyone else we may have missed, thanks a lot. And if you do want to support us directly and become a Patreon, there's really cool perks available for our Patreons, like you can interact with us giants, ask us questions, see our decks right on the Discord channel with links. You get access to episodes earlier than the public, and our top tier, you get a $5 credit to shop at the store. So it kind of takes care of your monthly subscription right off the start. So thanks for watching. Just wanted to give everyone a heads up, and hope you enjoy the content. Take care. You're at the Giants table. Thanks for joining us. So we have a couple of guests with us. Aaron, like always, is here. My name's Greg, and tonight I'm going to be playing Sam, the Loyal Attendant. This is from the Lord of the Rings pre-con deck. I took the black out of it, so I just went with the white and green colors. So at the beginning of every combat, I create a food token, and my food token abilities cost 1 less. So if Sam's out, I can only need to pay 1 to stack a food to gain 3 life. Okay, so we're making lots of food, hungry hobbits, living in the Shire. Okay, Aaron, what do you got?
I am playing Melek Izzet Paragon. Effectively, I get to play with my library revealed, or at the top card of my library revealed. I can cast it if it's an instant or sorcery, and whenever I cast anything from the top of my library, it gets doubled. It happens again. A copy of it happens.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's going to be a lot of spells. Okay. A lot of spells are going to be going around. And then we got a couple guests with us today as well.
Hello, I'm Lucas. I'm playing little-known Goblin Commander Krenko Mob Boss. Very niche. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Little known.
So my plan is to put goblins into play and either attack with them, or tap them, or sacrifice them. But there's going to be lots of goblins on the field, so I hope everyone's ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah. Sure.
Hi, I'm Anthony, and tonight I'm going to be playing Nimrus, Una's Trickster. 1/6 flash, flying. Whenever I cast my first spell during each opponent's turn, I get to look at the top 2 cards, put 1 in my hand, 1 in the graveyard.
That's a unique. I actually haven't seen that commander before. It's an interesting one. Yeah, it's yours too. I don't think I've seen that played a lot, but me and you are more common.
Yeah, I've never heard of Krenko.
Oh, no?
No?
Never.
No. All right, well, let's roll for first.
Roll for first,
A couple
right.
D6. Ooh, that's tough to beat. We'll go around clockwise.
Sure.
Leveling second isn't too bad.
Yeah, that's bad for me. All right, I need a 12. 12 or bust.
11 to beat.
All right.
All right. Well,
You taking the play?
I am going to take the play, and in response to the game starting, I'm going to have a ley line of anticipation enter the battlefield.
Ah, sorry.
Pretty good.
Before the game even starts.
Yes,
If the ley line is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield.
Nice. Good
And
draw.
I can cast non-land cards as though they had flash.
All right.
All right. So,
And now you draw?
and now I draw.
Okay.
So now the game starts.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
All right. I draw. Let's start us off with a mountain and go.
Okay.
Draw. I will play a mountain as well, and then I will tap it and play a Goblin Trojan. Probably did not pronounce that right, but oh well. So it's an 0/2 Goblin. I can pay 0 and sacrifice a Goblin to regenerate a target creature.
Yes.
It's just a little
Be a
goblin.
name for some sort of medieval healer.
And pass the turn.
Look it up at home.
Okay,
and-
sack one to heal another.
Yeah,
I will draw for turn.
that's
I
goblin
will
logic.
start with an island and pass turn.
All right, draw. I guess we get the windswept heath out of the way. I can pay 1 life, sack it, and search my library for a forest or plains and put it onto the battlefield. Not tapped though. So I'm going to search, sack, lose 1 life. I'm searching for a plains. And I found a plains, so I'm going to put it into play. Shuffle, and with him it doesn't have to enter tapped. I don't believe I have a 1-drop. I'm just going to triple check, and I'll pass the turn to Aaron. Yep, go ahead.
All right. I will draw. That's all right. We're playing Island. And then, because my good friend over here has goblins, I'm going to join him with a Goblin Electromancer.
Nice.
A 2/2, an instant and sorcery spells I cast cost 1 less.
Okay.
So my spells are cheap
Pretty good
And,
goblin.
and flashy.
and flashing.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have done that at the end of your turn on next round. Oh well. I'm
Okay.
going to pass the turn.
Untap. Draw. Okay. I'm going to play a mountain, and then I will move to combat. Greg, I'm going to attack you with this O2 Goblin Trojans.
All right, I have no response.
All right, take your 0.
Yeah, all right.
Second main phase, there is a reason for
Yeah,
it.
I thought you were going to
I will
pump
play this Throne of the God Pharaoh.
him. Okay, what's that do?
It's a legendary artifact. It says, at the beginning of my end step, each opponent's going to lose life equal to the number of tapped creatures I control. So in this case, I only have 1 creature, and as I move to my end step, the throne will trigger, and my opponents will each lose 1 life.
Throne of the God Pharaoh. Not good to have to show up. Terrible to show up when you're opposing a goblin army with it.
Everyone took their 1 damage from
Yep.
the Throne of the God Pharaoh, and
right.
I'll pass my turn.
All right.
Sweet, sweet.
Draw for turn. And we will do a swamp. And again, I will pass turn.
All right, draw. Get a forest out. Nothing too big to worry about yet. I'll say go.
All right. I will untap, keep, and draw. Let's bring in a mountain. I will tap 3 for an Is It Key Rune. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. On tap, and I'll draw. Okay. I will move to combat again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it doesn't really matter who I attack with the O2, because everyone's taking damage at the end. So, Greg, once again. All
I
right.
could pump it if you attack someone else. Okay, I take 0.
Take your 0. Second main phase, I'll pay 2, and I'll play this Pyre of Heroes.
What does that do?
Pyre of Heroes is an artifact which I can pay 2 and tap it to sacrifice a creature. And then I get to search my library for a creature card that shares a creature type, so Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
With sacrificed creatures, share the type of the sacrificed creature, yep.
Yeah.
And it has to have converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the creature's converted mana cost. So if I sacrifice the Goblin
A
Trogan,
1?
it'll have to be a 2-drop.
Okay.
All right.
And then it enters right onto the battlefield, and I can only activate this as a sorcery.
All right.
And
Sack to upgrade.
I will move to my end step.
And you know what that means?
Everyone's going to take a damage,
All right.
and I'll pass the turn.
This actually doesn't
Okay.
bother me with the foods.
Yeah,
I can handle
you're
some
not
duel.
exactly going to care.
Or here's hoping anyway.
Okay, I will play a Reliquary Tower for turn. So I have no max hand size. And it just taps for a colorless.
All right,
All
cool.
And I think I will just pass the turn.
All right, I'm going to draw.
That control player pass.
I'll play a
Player pass.
Canopy Vista. It enters the battlefield tapped unless I have control 2 other basics. I do, so we get to enter untapped. I'm going to play Mary, Warden of Isengard. So he reads, whenever 1 or more artifacts enter the battlefield under my control, create a 1/1 white soldier creature, token with lifelink. This ability triggers only once per turn though, so every time I make a food, hopefully, I'll also get a soldier with it. Go ahead. He's a 1/4.
I will untap, keep, and draw. Nice, nice. All right. So I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll be nice about it.
So begins the
4
shenanigans.
for a primal amulet. Instant and sorcery spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. Again.
So 2 less.
Yeah, now it's 2
Oh.
less.
2 less and
And whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, I can put a charge counter on the primal amulet. Once there are 4 or more, I can remove them and transform it
Okay.
into a land that then copies things.
All right, cool.
So, and then I'm going to play land for turn, which is a Is It Boilerworks, which enters tapped, and when it enters, I return a land I control to my owner, to its owner's hand. I will return a mountain and say go.
Alrighty, untap. And I'll draw.
It's kind of quiet right now, but everyone's...
And I'll play
Building
a
Yes.
mountain. That was a good draw.
Did you draw the mountain?
Yeah.
I was gonna pirate my goblin Chirogan
Yeah.
away to get some mana somehow, so we're off
Very
that
nice.
plan, which is good. I'm gonna pay 3, and I'm gonna cast this Legion War Boss. Legion War Boss is a goblin. It's a 2/2 with Mentor, which means whenever this creature attacks, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with lesser power. And at the beginning of combat on my turn, I get to create a 1/1 red goblin creature token, and that token gains haste till end of turn and attacks this combat if able.
It's going to get out of control quickly.
I am going to move to combat.
Yes.
Trigger the Legion War Boss. I'll make a goblin token. I will declare this 1/1 goblin token at you, Anthony,
okay.
and the Chirosian at you as well.
Okay. No blocks.
Take 1. I know, devastating. I will move to my end step, trigger the Throne of the God Pharaoh. Everyone's going to take 2 now,
Everyone take their 2.
All right.
and I'll pass to you.
Okay. Draw for turn. And I will play this Coral Atoll. So ETB's tapped. When an ETB's tapped, sack it unless I return an untapped island I control to its owner's hand, and it taps for a blue and a colorless. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Fancy.
6, 7, 8. I will have to go to
You will
discard.
not, because you have got reliquary.
Ah.
You have no max hand
That is
size.
good. That's a good land. I will pass the turn.
It's a good thing you play it.
Yes.
That's why it's in here.
I unfortunately am not getting land. Any way to get land right now? All right, I think we're just going to move to play my commander, Sam. Again, he reads, at the beginning of combat on my turn, I create a food token. Activated abilities of foods I control get -1 to activate. So I'm going to move to combat and create a food token, which will trigger Mary. Whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield, I get a 1/1 white soldier token with lifelink, but it only triggers once per turn. So I do have some soldiers in here with lifelink, maybe just 1. There might be some, you know what? I'm going to say go. I'm going to keep some goblin,
Goblin blockers up.
yeah, I want to defend some goblins there. Hey, yeah, go ahead.
Gotta defend the
There's
Shire.
my
That's
lifelinker.
your lifelink soldier. All
Yeah,
right.
go ahead.
I will untap, upkeep,
Foods go here.
draw. Not bad. Sure. Let's be smart about this. Bring that mountain back out.
My biggest game plan is try to stay alive until I have enough mana to do what I need to do.
And I'm going to say go.
Oh,
Ooh, he
I
remembered
smell
the
it.
ley line.
I smell an instant.
All right, untap, draw. All right. I am going to pay 3, and I'm going to cast a Goblin Rabblemaster. Goblin Rabblemaster is a 2/2 Goblin Warrior. He says, other Goblin creatures you control attack each turn of Fable. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 red Goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield, and whenever he attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking Goblin. So very similar to Legion War Boss. I'm going to move to combat.
In response.
All right.
This is why I kept myself available.
Thank goodness.
So I'm gonna tap 1 mountain,
Yep.
and I'm gonna shock your Goblin Rabble-Mouser, dealing 2 damage to it.
Okay. In response,
Okay.
I'm going to sacrifice this Goblin token to activate Goblin Trogan to regenerate target creature, which will be the Rabble
Right.
Master.
I forgot about the Cherrigan.
Now, regenerating does tap.
It does. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. At least we
it does.
slowed.
However, it's still a tapped creature. We're still gonna take damage.
Yeah, but it didn't get the swing.
All right. Okay.
Now, you do have a trigger on your Primal Amulet because you cast
Yes.
an instant or sorcery,
I do.
so it's not all a loss.
No, you are correct. You are correct.
All right, so I'm going to move to combat. Any other effects?
Nope,
No.
not here.
All right. So I will create 2 1/1 Goblin creature tokens. And since all my goblins have to attack if able, I'm going to have a. Let's make, okay.
Anthony has
I'm
an
going to
answer.
have the Legion War Boss come at Anthony, the Trojan come at Anthony.
I got blocked.
I will have this 1/1 come at Anthony, and then for you, Aaron, I'll have this 1/1 coming at you. Trigger the Legion War Boss, Mentor. I will put a 1/1 counter on the Goblin that's coming at you, Aaron.
All right.
That's the spawn of the one you tried to kill.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
He's coming back for revenge for his father.
Yep. Yep.
And I have no blocks.
Oh no.
Okay. Any effects?
Yes. So I'm gonna pay 3 and bring in a Staff of the Mind Magus. It
Alright.
does nothing to help me at this moment. However, it's there.
Okay.
get
What's
you
it do?
So whenever I cast a blue spell or an island enters the battlefield under my control, I gain 1.
All right.
So
Okay.
at the moment, it does a whole lot of nothing.
We're
So
back over here.
You said no
Yeah,
blockers.
So no blocks for me.
Any blockers for you, Aaron?
I am not going to block.
All right. So you will take 3,
Yes.
and you'll take 2.
Yep.
And then I will move to my end step, and since I have 5 creatures tapped, Throne of the God Pharaoh is going to deal 5 damage to
Someone
each of my
destroy
opponents.
that artifact.
No, I think it's fine. All right,
There we go.
and I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, and draw for turn. I will play an island, and I will say go.
Wow. Draw. At least the goblins aren't coming at me, but that subdual damage is pretty ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we're going to move to combat, create a food token, create a soldier token. Just going to put a 1/1. There's 2 of those there now. I'll just use this guy here. Okay, 2 soldiers. Find it. Oh, curses! It's a D&D dice.
That's
It's
not
the
a spin down.
the D&D set thought it would be
Yeah.
witty to. Okay, so we did that, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're just gonna those goblins. I'll say go.
All right.
An artifact.
All right. I will untap, upkeep, and draw.
Red has artifact destruction.
Yeah, some. I'm gonna bring in an island.
Trigger your
Trigger my staff, gaining me 1 life, and then I will pass the turn.
Okay. So 1 tap. Get my tokens over here. And nothing on upkeep, and I'll draw. I think I'm just going to move straight to combat. Does anyone have any effects?
No response here.
Nope. Okay. I will trigger the Rabble Master and the War Boss. So I'll make 2 more 1/1 Goblin creature tokens. I will have. Let's do the Rabble Master at you, Aaron. I'll have this 1/1 at you, Aaron, as well.
All right.
I'll have this 1/1 at you, Anthony. I'll have this Trojan at you as well.
Okay.
Greg, unfortunately, you have 2 4s over there, so you're lucking out on this,
Yeah.
on this combat. I'm gonna have this War Boss come at you as well, Anthony.
Okay.
This 2/2 Goblin token is coming at you, Aaron, and then this 1/1 is gonna come at you, Anthony.
Okay.
So those are my declared attacks.
So Anthony's first
So-
response, unless there's a
I am going
We're
to
blocking.
tap 4 and cast Aetherize. So I'm going to return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand.
wonderful.
Well,
Oh my!
I like
Yeah, 2 counter spells and 5 lands.
That was your starting hand.
Yeah.
That's why I was laughing. I was like,
all right. So I will put those in my hand, and I will enter my second main phase.
And he only has 3 red. This is good.
I'm going to tap 3 red, and I'm going to play this Worn Power Stone. And I will pass the turn.
Okay.
No trigger from the throne this time. So a few spells have been cast against me so far. I understand. I'm playing Krenko. I mean, if you're going to run a mob, you're going to have to expect the cops to come after you at some point, right? And these mono blue players, blue, black, blue, red, yeah, we all know what they're up to, right?
Okay.
You laugh. You're lucky I didn't
Upkeep
play.
and draw.
I love the front card.
I will play another island for turn.
So Anthony has bounced my creatures here. Now this does look like it's pretty bad for me. However, I have chain reaction in my hand. So really, if we think about it, I'm just protecting my goblins for a later point in this game, and I'll allow the chain reaction to do the work for me next turn.
And
Goblins got to swing.
They got to attack.
I'm just going to pass turn.
Okay. Untap draw. Play a forest. I think we're going to do of herbs and stewed rabbit. We're going to play. And it's a saga. So the first, can I borrow this?
Absolutely.
First one is put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature and create a food token. When the food token's created, we're going to get another soldier. And the 1/1 counter, we're going to put on Sam, the loyal attendant.
Good old Sam.
Yes, good old Sam indeed. And I think Lucas has given out enough punishment. It's time to receive some punishment. These 2, I'll leave this guy as the summon sick 1. So 2 1/1s with lifelink are coming at Lucas. I do need to get a non-countdown dice. Here we go. That was mind-boggling. So 2 at you, and I think you need it all. Let's bring you down with us here. So
join the party.
a 3/5 with Sam, and 2 1/1s with lifelink.
No blocks.
Okay, so 3 4 5.
Okay.
And I gain 2 lifelink to 32, and with 1 mana left, yeah, I'll say go.
In response to you going to your end step, I'm going to pay 6, and with my ley line of anticipation, I'm going to flash out my commander, Melik.
A flashing commander.
As I said before, when he is out on the field, I play with the top card of my library revealed. And
Okay. Which you're going to
So-
draw now.
Yeah.
In response to that cast, I think
Okay.
I'll
Oh.
join you and pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and flash in my commander,
This
Nimrus.
just got interesting.
Yes.
And what does Nimrus do again?
So it's a 1/6 flash flying. Whenever I cast my first spell during each opponent's turn, I look at the top 2 cards of my library. 1 goes into my hand, 1 goes into the graveyard.
Okay. All right. So I will now untap on my turn. Upkeep, I have no triggers, and draw the Master of the Way. I will flip an Increasing Vengeance. That's big, especially when it's at the top of the library like that. I get to
Copy
copy target gets an or sorcery spell I control. If it was cast from the graveyard, I copy the spell twice instead.
Ooh,
Yeah, and it's got a flashback cost.
okay.
All right, so let's start this off with a mountain. Oh, that was a bad idea. I could have done it without. Actually, no, I can do it like this anyway. Sure. Let's see what happens. All right, so using the discount from both my Primal Amulet and my Goblin Electromancer, I'm going to pay a red, a blue, and a red colorless, I should say, to cast Master the Way. And in response to that being out, I'm going to pay 2 red to cast Increasing Vengeance from the top of my library.
Okay.
When I cast Increasing Vengeance from the top of my library, it happens twice.
This spell,
No.
it happens twice.
This one happens
Oh,
twice.
okay.
However, it's targeting Master of the Way
Mm-hmm.
twice, right?
But did you play it from the graveyard?
Does it say graveyard?
I
Or
thought
no,
you said
no.
graveyard.
The flashback is.
Flashback is from the graveyard.
Oh, when you read it initially, I thought you said if you play it from your graveyard, it happens twice.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
right.
But it's
so
commander's choice.
my commander allows me to cast it from the top of my library
Yeah.
twice.
Yep.
So it is happening twice. Now I've cast 2 spells, which means this goes up to 3. And Master of the Way is going to happen twice.
Okay.
Which means I draw 2 cards. Now, however, they do get revealed because Malik is out. Spin to Myth and Conley Gem both go to hand.
And there's the
Now,
second
the
trigger.
first time it happens, I'm going to deal 2 damage to target creature or player. That target creature or player is going to be you to face.
All right.
Okay.
Then the second time it happens,
3.
3 damage, again, you to face.
All right.
Oh, I almost feel bad for Lucas now.
I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
Oh, you've only.
I'm innocent here.
Yeah.
Yes, you
That was
sitting on
a
your
true goblin
throne.
start, though. That was a good.
You sitting on your throne. Then that's going to be revealed. It is a land, which is not cool, because I can't play it. Then I am going to.
Do you get one more trigger? Like one more cast of it?
That's right,
You get
I
the
do.
initial
There's the initial
cast
cast,
and
then
then 2
both
copies.
copies. So this land goes to hand, then 4 damage.
That's 3? It went off 3 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, the initial cast and
Yeah,
then
initial
2
cast
copies.
and 2 copies.
Okay.
And so that's going to be 4 damage to Mary.
Dude,
Yep.
poor little Mary. You just hanging out in the Shire?
Making you dudes.
All right.
On the top of my library is Expansion Explosion. So this is going to be fun. So technically, these 2 are still on the battlefield. And with expansion,
Just a comment. You've actually resolved 3 copies now, so they're in the bin.
I cannot expansion my Master of the Way.
No, because you resolved the 3rd
Oh.
copy, so it's already off the stack.
It finished it, basically?
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, did I play land for turn? Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Right. Well, I will pass the turn.
A lot of synergy there.
Untap.
I want the goblins back. We need some help.
I was the hero this table needed.
Hey man, I got a goblin.
Yeah, you got someone over there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to tap 2 red and 2 from the Worn Power Stone, and I'm going to cast this Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction says it deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures. So all creatures are going to take 7 damage. Any responses?
Yes.
Okay,
None-
I guess you're
yeah,
first.
Yeah, none from me.
All right, I'm going to pay 1 and sack my milkshake. Oh, it's a soda. I thought it was a milkshake. To sack a food and gain 3 before he dies, because I can do it for 1 less. Okay,
Yep.
that's my response.
So I'm going to tap 2 with my Is It Boiler Works, and I'm going to cast Expansion from the top of my library, targeting a spell with converted mana cost 4 or less.
Here's one.
Yes.
And what does expansion do?
So expansion, I copy the target instant sorcery spell with converted mana cost 4 or less. I may choose new targets for the copy. It's not necessarily a targeted ability, however, the spell is going to happen 2 more times. because I'm casting it from the top of my deck.
But it only kills creatures, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
I think he wants to flip that primal amulet. Yeah.
All right. So all the creatures still die.
Yes.
All right.
Resolve your copy.
Right.
Yeah, you're
both
new
my
on the-
copies.
Yep.
You're new on the stack.
So how many creatures was that?
7. I think it was
It
7.
was 7.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So 21 damage total is being dealt.
Okay.
14 of it from me.
Okay.
Just another thing, you cast a blue spell.
Yes.
So your Mind Magus staff will trigger.
Yep. So I gain 1 life.
All right. So I guess we can resolve the first copy.
Yeah.
And all the creatures will die.
This needs 1 tax.
And then second copy.
Second copy, and then the initial spell itself.
Yeah. So I guess you gain.
Are they counted as cast?
It's not cast.
No,
Yeah.
they're
This is,
copies.
Copies are not cast.
Yeah, okay.
They just
but you will get your
yes. A
amulet.
primal amulet happens. There are 4 on it, so I'm going to transform it into.
This is still Lucas's turn,
This
though.
is still Lucas's
Okay.
turn.
Yep.
The primal wellspring. It is a land. I can tap it and add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. When mana is spent to cast an instant or sorcery spell, or when this mana is spent, I copy the spell and choose new targets for the copy.
Okay.
So I can pay with that one and make more stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of copies.
Okay. So now that it's all done, I'm going to pay a red, and I'm going to play a Mana Vault, and I'm just going to pass the turn.
What does Mana Vault do?
It's old school.
What does Mana Vault do?
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Mana Vault is a 1-mana artifact that I can tap to add 3 colorless to my mana pool. Mana Vault doesn't untap like normal during my untap step. Instead, I must pay 4 during that untap step to untap it. If I do not, I take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, and draw for turn. I'll play a swamp, and I think I will just pass the turn.
Okay. Untap. These blue players holding back all their blue Greg no likey. Draw. I go to my second step of my saga, which is draw a card, create a food token. The refreshing soda comes back out.
Yep.
I'm going to play a Griffin Airy, which reads, at the beginning of my end step, if I gain 3 or more life this turn, I get a 2/2 white Griffin token with flying. I'm going to pay 2, sack my refreshing soda, and gain 3 life. And I'll go to my end step because there's nothing else to do, which will trigger the Airy, and I get my 2/2 white Griffin, and I'll say go.
With your Griffin, all right. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. All right. What kind of mana do I got available to me? All right. So I've already cast this once. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I hope here as the blue players go at it.
I'm going to pay 4 and bring out a Conley Gem. When it enters the battlefield, I return 2 lands I control to their owner's hands. I'm going to return both a mountain and an island
Okay.
to hand. I will go to my... no, I'm not going to go to any step. I'm going to play a land for a turn, being that island. And then I will gain a life from my Staff of the Mind Magus. And I will then pass my turn.
Okay.
Untap. Upkeep. Mana Vault trigger. I'll choose not to pay, and I'll draw.
You don't pay?
That trigger always goes on the stack. So you can choose to pay to untap it, but you don't have to. Little MTGO insider joke. All right. Geez, both the control players here, or the blue players, both have all their
It's like-
men untapped.
yeah,
but I mean,
well-
like, what are goblins gonna do?
Let
right?
him play it.
I'm gonna pay 3, and I will cast this Legion War Boss. Any responses?
No.
he makes it, maybe.
No, no response.
All right, cool. I will then tap the mana vault for 3 colorless, and I will tap a red, floating 1 colorless mana, and I will cast this Goblin Rabblemaster. Any responses?
Nope.
None for me.
I will let it hit the field.
Wow. Oh, all right. That's a coded message there. How much mana do you have in general, Aaron?
I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana available
Funny.
to me.
Funny that number there.
Yeah.
And how much mana do you have open over there?
I currently have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Another funny number.
They both
Adds up to your
can
commander.
cast something.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we can both flash out our commander.
Yes.
I think what I'll do is I'll use that 1 colorless floating, and I will play a Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp says, equipped creature gets +1, -1. Whenever equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards, and it has a 1 mana equip cost. Any responses?
None.
Nope.
I will let it hit the field.
Excellent. I am going to move to combat. Any responses?
No.
Here they come.
None for
I
me.
hear the
Nope.
breath coming in.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to make 2 1/1 goblin creature tokens with haste. They must attack. Well,
I'm going to recommend that you do not swing at me.
one of them is going to die probably from one of these flash blockers. I'm not going to go at the griffin.
Yeah.
So I think what I'll do is I'll just have both of them go in at Aaron.
I just told you not to do that.
I'm aware.
Well, play your hand.
Goblins go where they want to go. You can't stop them.
I
Maybe you
mean,
can actually.
Actually,
I dare you.
Let's see what you got.
well, I would like my Melik onto the field. I would like to flash him out. Let's see. How much does it cost me to do? All right. Yeah, I should have stopped you earlier. Oh well. I'm going to.
All I need to do is get my commander out, and online, I've got the counter spells. If I need to use them, I can use them and refill my hand with my commander, and then I'll be all set.
I will declare no blockers.
No effects. Take your 2.
offense.
Didn't think it was going to work that well.
There we go.
Okay, I'll move to second main phase, and I will pay a red, and I'll move to equip the Skull Clamp onto this little bitty goblin token. All good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Goblin
It
token
dies.
will die due to the Skull Clamp -1 effect, and I'll draw 2 cards. Okay, I will pass the turn. Sorry, I got end step triggers.
Yes.
Okay.
Throne of the Godfather is going to deal 1 damage to each of my opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And on your end step, I will flash in my commander again, pay 7,
Mhm.
and I'll take
What?
1.
Yeah.
1.
We only get 1 this
All
time.
right, pass to you.
Okay. Untap, upkeep, and draw. And I will play a Sunken Hollow. So it taps for a blue or black, and it ETB's tapped unless I control 2 or more basics. I've got 4, so that is handy. And I think I'll just sit back and pass the turn.
Yes, you will, Blue.
All right.
Draw my last saga of the Herbs and Stewed Rabbit is create a 1/1 white halfling creature token for each food you control. I have 2, so I'll get 2 halflings, and nice little flavor. They're Tolkien creatures.
Oh,
That's nice. Nice. Very nice.
Yes. Okay.
Very nice.
So I already drew. All right. I think I'll play Sardok, Master of Buckland. Whenever Sardok, Master of Buckland, or another non-token creature with power 2 less enter the battlefield, I get a 1/1. Oh, I forgot to remove this. I get a 1/1 white halfling creature token. I can tap 2 other untapped halflings I control, and he gets +2/+0 and gains lifelink till end of turn. So I'm making 1 more halfling. So these 3 have entered. And I'll say go. There was no lifelink this turn, so no trigger
In
off the
response
air. Oh, yes.
to that, I'm just going to pay 2, and I am going to flash in this Cunning Nightbonder.
Okay.
It's a 2/2 with flash. Spells with flash I cast cost 1 less to cast and can't be countered.
Ooh.
Very fun.
It's going to trigger my commander. So I look at the top 2, put 1 into my hand, 1 into the graveyard. I will put this
Totally different decks
Brainstorm
here.
Very much.
into
so,
the
yeah.
graveyard. And that's
Okay, and then I already said go. That was on my end step, so go ahead.
On your end step, I'm going to pay 8, to flash out Melik.
Mm-hmm.
When he enters, he's a blue spell, so I go up 1 and play Revealed. Ooh, if Mizzet Promise is up. Alright, I will
Niv Mizzet.
travel to my turn, untap, upkeep, and draw. Mountain on top, alright. So, let's bring in an island for turn, which is another +1 from my staff. And I will pass the turn.
Wow.
Okay. Untap. Choose not to pay for the mana vault. Take my damage. Upkeep nothing. Draw. Whoa. 4th land. Here we go.
Now you're rolling.
A little bit of a struggle to get there. I think I will start this off by paying a red, and I'll cast my Goblin Trojan. So we've seen it before. It's my Goblin that lets me sacrifice other goblins to regenerate target creature.
Yep.
I will then. Might as well just. I'm going to pay 1 more. And I will put this Skull Clamp onto the Rabble Master. No, I'm going to put it on the Legion War Boss.
Okay.
There's reasons for this. And I am going to move to combat.
In response,
Okay.
I am going to, with my Primal Wellspring and my Conley Gem, paying for a total of 3, 1 red and 2 blue, I'm going to cast Roll Reversal. It is a sorcery, but with my Leyline I cast it as an instant. And because I'm using my Primal Wellspring, I'm
Goes
copying
twice.
it.
Okay.
I'm going to exchange control of 2 target permanents that share a permanent type.
Okay.
So I'm going to exchange your commander with the Legion War Boss.
I need to keep my commander under my control.
And then what's the other?
And then I'm also going to exchange your throne for my staff.
That one's less good. That one's less good. How are you putting those on the stack?
As I stated.
So creatures first, and then you're last. Then he chose the artifacts last, so they're first on the stack.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's happening first.
So in
The-
response to the first one, then
The artifacts? No, the artifacts are first.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
All right.
I'm going to choose, unfortunately, not to respond to that.
Okay.
So
It happens.
I will swap my throne
Okay.
with this beautiful Staff of the Mind Magus.
You just need some blue in your deck now.
Yeah, we'll get
Yep.
there.
And I am going to pay a blue and a black and cast Drown in the Lock. So I'm going to counter a target spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. So that costs 3. And it looks like you have more than 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy the artifact swapped, but he had a counterspell in hand, and I didn't.
That's going to trigger Nimrus on the cast.
Any
in
response to that?
response-
Hold on.
Okay.
In response to that, I am going to. Wait a minute.
This episode will be titled In Response.
In response to.
I think would this not still go off though? Because it's not.
trigger-
It's a
That's
cast.
right. It is still.
Well,
In
if he has something he wants to play, this trigger will go on the stack, and he can respond
Right.
to that trigger.
Right. Okay.
Right, and if my trigger were to remove that, That's effects are still on the stack.
He'd still get it, but he has to wait to get after what you
Right.
do. We keep
Okay.
putting
No, right.
stuff.
No,
Last played.
I'm going to let that happen.
Okay, then there you go.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll look at 2.
We just wanted you to
One
beg
in
for it.
hand, one in the graveyard. I'm gonna put the spell book
Okay.
there.
And we were here.
Okay.
And that was
so this
on.
is-
That was
count-
on. Yeah, so you countered the actual cast itself.
Yes, not the copy.
Yeah.
However, I did cast a blue spell while the Staff of Mind Magus was on my field, so I do gain a life.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're back to.
Ooh. Okay. So
This was in response to you going to combat.
this was me trying to move to combat. Yes. All right. Well,
Path is now clear. You guys still have to attack?
the Rebel
Yes.
Master says they do.
Yeah.
Yes. I am going to once again try to move to combat. Any
Yeah.
effects?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
You get your goblins.
Yes, I get some 2 goblins. Here they are. Boop boop. I will declare just a good old full swing against you, Aaron.
I figured as much.
Yep, you have messed with me so much.
Yeah.
You know what? Goblins have no use for politics. Goblins go where they please. If I want to attack you, I'm going to attack you, and I'll call your bluff. You have messed with me so much. All right, so I do have some triggers when I declare attacks.
Okay, in response to declaring attacks.
Yeah.
I do need to put my triggers onto the stack first, unfortunately.
That's right.
So it's just
Yep.
the mentor trigger.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm going to choose a creature with less power than Legion Warboss, which will be the Rabble Master.
Yep.
I'll give him the +1/+1. Actually, let me make sure. No. Actually, yes, I can do it like this. So I'll have a Rabble Master trigger, which I'll put on the stack, then the Legion Warboss. I'll resolve the Warboss trigger to put a counter here, and then the Rabble Master, unless you want to respond to the triggers on the stack.
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
So I'll Rabble Master trigger, Legion Warboss trigger, targeting the Rabble Master.
Right. So I'm going to pay a blue and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To cast Spin into Myth. I'm going to put target creature, your Rabble Master, on top of its owner's library. And then I Fate Seal 2. When you Fate Seal, I get to look at the top 2 cards of my opponent's library, then put any number of them onto the bottom of that player's library, and the rest on top in any order.
And we're doing that twice? Oh, you
Nope.
didn't use
No.
Wellspring that time. Yeah,
Nope,
you already used
and I
it.
didn't cast it from the top of my library, so
Okay.
I cast it from hand. So,
Targeting the Rabble Master.
yes.
No response.
No response.
No
Okay.
responses, all right.
Goes to hand, and then
It goes to
it
the
goes
top.
to the top
Oh.
of his library. Then I get to look at the top 2 cards.
and put on the bottom if you want, or leave it.
They're both going to the bottom.
Okay.
All right,
Is one of them Krenko?
No, actually.
there we go. Okay, so that
Yeah.
spell resolves.
So the rest of the damage happens now.
So
Yes.
Warboss trigger will go on nothing.
Yep.
Rabble Master trigger doesn't matter anymore. And now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblins coming in at you.
Yep. For a total of how much damage?
1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 5, 6. This is a 3/1
Yeah.
and 3/1/1s.
Okay. I'm going to block one of your 1/1s with Melik.
Okay, so then you'll end up taking 5.
Yep.
All right, good with that. My goblin token will die, and I'll move to my second main phase. Whew.
In response to moving your second main phase.
Hey, I still have 3 available mana.
Yeah.
I think I will tap this Worn Power Stone for 2, and I will cast. Well, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to activate Skull Clamp to equip to one of my goblin tokens. If there's no responses, I'll resolve that.
No responses.
Okay. And I will draw 2. Okay. 1 mana floating. Play my mountain, land for turn. I guess I'll use the other mana and a red, and I'll just, I guess I have to cast this. I will cast a Lightning Greaves. Lightning Greaves says equipped creature has Shroud and Haste, and I can pay 0 to equip.
Okay.
All good?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to move to equip the Greaves onto the War Boss.
Think it happens?
No triggers.
Happens, okay. I think then I will pay a red, equip Skull Clamp onto my other Goblin token,
Okay.
and I will draw 2. And then I will use my last red mana, and I will just cast a Skirk Prospector. Skirk Prospector is a 1/1 Goblin. It says I can sacrifice a Goblin to add a red to my mana pool.
Okay.
And with that, I will pass the turn.
On your end step. Oh.
No,
right.
not
I
anymore.
took it. I
Oh,
took it.
that
I
is-
am tired of the passive damage.
Now we just have to worry about you
I am
with
done.
tap.
Yeah,
messing
he's not
with
swinging
you.
as
I
much as
wanted
the
to get rid of
goblins.
the passive damage.
Oh,
I don't
my.
attack with this deck.
Oh my.
All right.
No,
Untap.
although I am looking at the life totals. Greg?
Oh,
Well, it's the food.
he's a hungry guy.
Guilty.
All right. Untap, upkeep, and draw. I will play a swamp. And let's see how much people like casting spells. I'm gonna pay 1,
Oh, that sounds like a tax.
2, 3, and 4, 5, and I'm gonna cast Painful Quandary.
Yeah.
So it's an enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, they lose 5 life unless they discard a card. And I think that's all I'm gonna do and pass the turn.
All right.
Not okay.
Untap. Yeah, that'll slow down your. Okay, so 5. What would we do with 5? I think we're going to play Mondrak Glory Dominus. She reads, if one or more tokens would be created under my control, twice that many tokens are created instead. I can sack 2 other artifacts or creatures and put an indestructible counter on Mondrak. I can use 1 of any color and pay 2 life or 2 white. I'm going to do that right now.
Well, on the
Okay, on cast, or
on
do you
a
want?
cast, are you gonna lose 5 life or discard a card?
I will discard a
Yeah, because
card.
that's any spell.
Whenever an opponent casts a spell. Yep.
I will discard Guathar, Greatest of the Eagles.
And then
Okay, now does this? You get a first chance to respond, and here comes the blue counter.
yes, I'm gonna pay 2 and counter spell.
Key, I don't like that. And
And then on that cast is gonna trigger Nimrus, so I will look at the top 2.
you're welcome.
Put 1 in my hand, 1 in.
Need a
there,
counter for you
2 in
guys. Okay, and it's a 1/6 and a 2/2.
Yes.
All future combats going at Anthony, I'm afraid. To move to combat and everything at Anthony. So you've got 3 1/1s, a 2/2 in the air, and a 2/4 that can have a halfling sacked, and he gets +2/+0 against lifelink. Tap 2 others, so I wouldn't be able to. Yeah,
And you have 3 of these.
yeah, I have 3 agreed. Yeah, this guy's kind of representing 2.
Okay. I will block 1 of the 1/1s with my 2/2, and then I will block the 2/4 with my 1/6.
Okay, it looks like you're just taking 3 then.
3.
Oh no, 4,
Yeah.
because I took the
4.
counter off
Right.
the deuce halfling there.
4. Go to 22.
And I think that's it. There was no lifelink that turn.
Nope.
And you're up.
All right. I'm going to untap, upkeep, and to draw. That's another mountain on top. All right.
Nice to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
You can play your goblins now. You keep talking about.
I had 1 goblin. And actually, there's a spell in here that I rather enjoy. Oh no.
With flashback.
Yeah, with flashback. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I remember how much it costs. All right. I'm gonna play a Highland Lake for turn. It enters tapped, but I can tap it for a red or blue. And because it's not a spell, I don't take life.
Nope. Nope.
So.
Oh.
Yeah, I did actually. And I played my Highland Lake tapped.
Yes.
Then I counted my land, and I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 available mana
Okay.
to pass the turn with.
Okay.
Whoa! Okay.
Blockbuster
Did
turn.
not see that one. All right. Untap.
Keep all that blue back.
Upkeep. I'm gonna choose not to untap the Mana Vaults, so I'll take a damage, and then I will draw a card. Okay. I will pay 4, and I'm gonna attempt to cast Krenko. Here it is.
On the cast,
Yep.
Painful Quandary triggers, 5 life, or discard a card. You got this.
I will choose to discard the Swiftfoot Boots.
Ooh.
Already got some booties out, so all good.
Fair enough.
Krenko on the stack. Any responses, folks?
Nope.
None for me.
All right, resolves.
We need them.
We do.
Yeah,
Let's
to
do
deal
it.
with you.
Deal with you guys.
I'll go to a 1/6 and a 2/2.
Yeah.
I will pay.
I have a 2/4.
But not a 1/6 in a 2/2.
I'm gonna move the Lightning Greaves over to Krenko Mob Boss. Any responses?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Okay.
Wow. With all this blue open.
Crazy.
Surprising.
I'll allow it.
I'm gonna pay
For now.
2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast a Dragon Fodder. Trigger the Quandary.
I do have a response, but it's purely thematic.
Nope.
Remember,
Yep.
you have a quandary if you play a spell too.
Yeah, I'm more.
Oh, okay.
As I said, I'm doing this purely thematically.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 6 mana, and I'm going to flash out a dragon to eat your goblins, and I'm going to discard a mountain.
Wow.
Yeah. So Niv Mizzet Perrin. It cannot be countered. It is flying. Whenever I draw a card, Perrin deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, I draw a card.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is already on the stack.
I know.
So you won't draw a card from it.
Nope.
But I'll have a Painful Quandary trigger.
Yes.
This one is painful for me, but I will discard this Vandablast.
Oh.
You're the only one who has
It'd be hurting you
artifacts.
the most.
Yeah, it's the throne that Aaron took from me.
I guess true.
All right. Any responses to the Dragon Fodder? No. Dragon Fodder says I create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, by the way.
Yeah.
Forgot to announce what Krenko does, but
Let's go.
We
Let's
will-
go back
we will
to
soon-
Krenko.
we
Oh,
will
yeah,
soon
we'll
learn
see in
what
a sec.
Krenko does.
What Krenko does.
All right. I'm going to tap Krenko to activate his ability. Krenko's ability says put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield where X is the number of goblins I control. So I currently control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goblin tokens. Any responses?
Not this
No.
time.
Okay. So I'm just going to put an 8 here to represent that I have 8 goblin tokens that have entered the field.
Goblins are scary, and that's a nice goblin army. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't have a whole lot in hand that I can do to deal with it.
Yeah. We'll watch it later.
That's what the math says.
I'm
You
lost.
have summoning sickness.
I'm lost in the goblin sauce. Okay? They all have.
Yeah,
they all have 76s. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, that's right. 'cause
Dragon
Fodder.
That's right. Dragon Fodder. Yeah, you just put them in. That's right.
Okay. I will sacrifice a goblin to Skirk Prospector to add a red to my pool. Then I'm going to do it again. So now I have 2 red floating.
Yep.
I'm going to tap a mountain, and I'm going to cast this 1,000-year elixir.
On the stack.
Trigger Painful
Quandary.
Quandary. This time I will choose to discard this Basalt Monolith.
Ooh, spacey.
Ooh.
I don't need mana anymore. Any responses to the 1,000-year elixir?
What does it do?
1,000-year elixir says you may activate abilities of creatures you control as though those creatures had haste, and I can pay 1 and tap it to untap target creature.
Ooh, that's
That's
bad with
very
Krenko.
useful. Yeah.
He already got haste, Krenko.
I do.
True, but now he can pay
I want
one.
Oh, but you know what
more.
he's-
I want
But you see, now
more.
what he can do is he can pay one.
He's got Shroud though.
He
Currently.
shrouded his own dude, though.
Currently.
That's right. That's right.
For now. But no response to the 1,000.
This is all pre-combat,
This
right?
is all pre-combat.
Pre-combat.
Yep.
Yep.
So it resolves?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay. I am going to want to do this. Okay, I'm going to move to equip the Lightning Greaves onto the Skirk Prospector. Any responses?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to sacrifice a Goblin token to add a red mana to my pool, and then I will activate the 1,000-Year Elixir to untap target creature. Any responses?
Nope.
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 Okay.
get
Untap
nuts.
Krenko. I'm going to tap Krenko to activate his ability to put 1, 2, 3, 4,
9.
5, so 9 Goblin tokens onto the field. Any responses?
It
I'll allow
happens.
it.
Nope.
So that goes up to 14.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes.
The one white open.
All right. I'm going to move the Lightning Greaves back onto Krenko. Let's see if there's any more responses.
Nope.
Okay. I am then going to sacrifice 2 Goblin tokens to the Skirk Prospector to add 2 red to my pool. And I will cast Reckless Bushwhacker for its Surge cost. So Surge says you may cast a spell for its Surge cost if a teammate has cast another spell this turn. I am my own teammate.
Yeah.
I've already cast a spell this turn. Reckless Bushwhacker is a 2/1 with haste. It's a goblin, of course. Says when it enters the battlefield, if its Surge cost was paid, other creatures I control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn.
Wow.
Spicy.
Any responses?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
They're both just like, nope, nope, nope.
So,
As soon as you go to attack, they
Reckless-
bounce everything.
I would be very sad.
Now, you did cast.
I do have a painful quandary. This one, I will pay the 5 life.
All right.
All right.
And then I will move to combat.
And it's all coming to me. I know it. I know it's coming to me.
I'm going to clear all my attacks first, and then we'll get that out of the way.
Yep.
I'm just going to make it very simple. Aaron, all the Goblin tokens are going at you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to have, actually, I also have a Legion War Boss trigger, so I'll make another Goblin. I'm going to keep this one separate because it's going to be a 1/1. So this one, I'll say, is going to go at. You're tapped out, Greg?
I am open.
All right, well, I know we were a little
He's
buddy
got the
buddy
most
before.
life.
Yeah.
He does have the most life. I don't know why you're swinging
Yeah.
at me.
I wonder
you're-
why. I'm going to have the Bushwhacker go at you, Greg. I'm going to
Yeah.
have the 1/1 Goblin token go at you. I'm going to have the Skirk Prospector go at you. I'm going to have the Legion War Boss go at you.
What about him?
He's got blockers.
All
I'll get to
right.
him. I'll get to him
With
later.
0-2.
So I got a mentor trigger. So I'm going to put a +1/+1 counter on target Goblin I control with lesser power. I'm going to put it on the Trogan to make it a 1/3. And then those are my declared attacks. So
Okay.
just for simplicity, it
Would
is
you like to respond? Nothing coming at you, but just in case.
No.
All right.
this that,
Nothing
Greg.
Total damage for me, I have no blocks.
Greg, you're going to take
6.
3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Aaron, you got
It
24.
24.
would be 24. However, I'm going to block 2 of them, killing 2 of them.
Okay.
Take him out.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
And I will take 20.
Yep. Sounds good.
Ooh, that was a lot of goblins.
I'm now at 7.
Yeah.
That
Congratulations.
hurts a lot.
Krenko's gonna
Nice.
be Krenko.
All right.
Yep.
Second main phase,
Crank
I'm
is gonna
going
crank.
to sacrifice a Goblin token to Skirk Prospector to add a red. Then I'm going to equip a Skull Clamp to another one of my
He's going to draw a lot
Goblin
of
tokens.
cards.
I'm going to refill all those cards I discarded for that painful.
Yep.
So if there's no responses, I'll remove a Goblin and draw 2.
Yep.
Okay. Put those there. I'm going
You
to.
remove 2 goblins.
I had
One to-
10, and then I put down
Okay,
to 9,
okay.
and
Yeah.
then put down to 8.
Gotcha.
I'm going to
Yeah.
play this mountain as my land for the turn. I will sacrifice a Goblin to the Prospector and activate the Clamp again
Yep.
to draw 2.
Candy.
And then I will do that again. Drawing 2. Cards in hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm greedy. I'm going to do it again. So down 2 more. And I will draw 2. Okay,
How many cards in hand do you have?
8.
8 at the moment.
One red open. should
I'm
be
going
fine.
to sacrifice 1 Goblin token. And I'm going to pay a red. And I will play this Impact Tremors.
Oh, that's not good.
That's for next turn, folks.
However,
does it
when you
do?
cast it,
I have a painful quandary.
But he's got lots of cards. But what's it do?
Great question. Impact Tremor says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my control, impact tremors deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Which means we effectively have 1 turn.
You have.
I think
So
Yeah,
Quandary,
Franco's
I
gonna
think
go
it's
nuts
we.
again.
I think it's we.
I'm going to discard this mountain to the Quandary trigger. And I am down to 6. So I'm going to move to pass the turn.
Okay. On your end step, I'm just going to pay 1 blue because the spells with flash cost 1 less for me. I'm just going to flash in Eel Umbra, enchant creature. The enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has totem armor. So if it would be destroyed, instead I remove all damage from it and destroy the aura instead.
Okay.
I will equip Nimrus. It's going to trigger Nimrus, so I will look at the top 2 on the cast and put that in my hand, that in the graveyard, and I will untap for turn then.
I'm just going to simplify my goblins here since
Yeah.
they're the same now.
I'm just going to actually pay 1. I'm going to cast Elixir of Immortality. So it's an artifact I can pay 2, tap it, I gain 5 life, and then shuffle Elixir of Immortality and my graveyard back into my library.
All right.
And on that, I will pass the turn.
Well, holding all your blue back.
Just in case.
Another mass bounce.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
I'll pay 3 for a wedding announcement. You're all invited. At the beginning of my end step, I put an invitation counter on wedding announcement. If I attack with 2 or more creatures, I draw a card. If I don't attack with creatures, instead I make a 1/1 white human. And then when in 3 turns, basically when it has 3 counters on it, it flips. And on the flip side, it says all my creatures have +1/+1.
Nice.
Okay.
Now, you did cast a spell.
Yep.
Quandary.
We're getting there.
You've got the life.
Not for long. I wanted to do something else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to play Revive the Shire. Is their response. Return target permanent card from my graveyard to my hand and create a food token.
I do not have a response, however, I do have a trigger. You cast an instant or sorcery speed, which instant or sorcery, so
Yep.
I draw a card.
Okay.
It's going to...
Yep. Quandary. Okay, so I got to do the Quandary first.
When I draw a card, I deal 1 damage to any target. I'm going to choose your Skirk Prospector.
That is a good target. However, in response, I'm going to activate my Goblin Trogan, sacrifice 1 of my Goblin tokens to regenerate my Skirk Prospector.
As I knew you would.
Okay. In response to Quandary, I'm sacking Selesnya Charm.
Okay.
Now that sorcery goes in my graveyard. I will pick a card, return to hand. Mondrak. Return to hand. And I need to be defensive now, the goblins told me. At the beginning of my end step, I didn't swing, so I will create a 1/1 white human, and I will put a counter on the wedding announcement. The guests are arriving. Okay, go ahead. They said go.
Okay. Yeah, so on your end step, I'm going to pay 4. Oh no, I can't do that because I'm going to cast instants and sorceries from the top of my library. Right. We'll untap, upkeep, and draw. When I draw, I'm going to ping your Skirk Prospector.
Just going to do the whole rigmarole again.
Yep.
Regenerate with the Goblin Trojan.
Well, how much tapped land do you guys have?
5 here.
6.
5, 11, 12. I'm pretty sure this is going to go absolutely nowhere. However, if I do nothing, I die anyway. So, let's pay a red, and 3 with 1, 2, 3. So I am using my Primal Wellspring, which creates a copy, and I'm casting it from the top of my library, which makes a copy. So that's, you guys have a total of 12 tapped land, which means I'm gaining 36 red mana.
Agreed.
I need, this is a Hail Mary. It's all I got. I got diddly squat in hand. I need to top deck damage. Come on.
You got a die for that?
I do not have a die. However, I do have an abacus.
Even better.
Oh,
Even better.
getting fancy.
He's broken out the abacus at this point.
So with the cast, we have
Yep.
Painful Quandary.
I am going to discard a mountain, and this is going to be flipped up, and I can't use it.
Come on, do something impressive with all that red mana.
I can't.
Exit in the zone.
Well, what I can do, however, is I can use 4 of it, 1, 2, 3, 4, to cast Chandra, Torch of Defiance, and I'm going to discard a land.
Good plays.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I am going to uptick Chandra. With her +1, exile the top card of my library. I may cast that card. If I don't, Chandra, Torch of Defiance, deals 2 damage to each opponent. So she is now at a total of 5. I exile the top card of my library. I may cast the card. I don't know. But I'm going to turn that over.
no big
Real useful, guys. This is a great turn.
You do 2 to each of us at least.
Yeah, I'll do 2 to everybody. Would either of
You
you?
have a flyer.
I do have a flyer, however. Would either of you guys be willing to take damage so that I can potentially do more with my impressive mana? You will be taking a total of 2 damage.
I'm a little fatigued. Kind of want the game to end.
And I might be able to end it.
Yes, but then I lose. I'll take 2 if you send it all at blue-red.
Oh, sure.
Blue-red.
If you get some.
Right, of course.
Blue-red-black, sorry. No, you're not even red, yeah.
Well-
Black-blue.
All right. So in that case, I will pay a blue and I will pay a red to turn my Izzet Key Rune into a 2/1 blue and red elemental artifact. I'm going to send it at you.
So you're moving to combat?
I move to combat.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
the mana
right.
in the pool will empty.
That's right. The man in the pool
Sorry.
would empty.
I was a little.
That's right.
You can rewind it.
I
I don't think it has anything else to do with it anyway.
Yeah, no, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. So this goes away. I go to combat. I do 2 damage to you.
Just to look at the top card.
Yep.
So I have to take the damage?
Yeah. So you take 2.
All right, that's going to be the 2 I need to move.
I draw a card, and if I do, I discard a card.
You also trigger.
Yes.
is it?
I'm going to deal 1 damage to Skirk Prospector.
I'm going to sacrifice the Reckless Bushwhacker,
Oh, we're getting into real
the Goblin
goblins.
Trojan, to protect the Skirk
Yep.
No more tokens.
And this gets revealed a Blazing Salvo. It actually is useful.
That one is, yeah.
So, sure.
I'm immune.
Yeah.
I said it has to go over there.
That's right. That is correct. You did say that it all had to target him. All right, so I'm going to tap my Highland
Have
Lake
to keep your word. but-
to use my Blazing Salvo. It deals 3 damage to target creature unless that creature's controller has Blazing Salvo. Deal 5 damage to him or her.
Okay.
And I have 2 copies of it happening.
Okay.
I'm going to use both of them to target your Cunning Knight, Nightbonder.
So the first one is enough unless he has a response.
Yeah.
And Painful Quandary.
Yes.
For those areas.
Right. So that is on the stack.
So when
I-
it's played, the quandary has to go off.
When it's
cast.
played,
Yeah.
whenever a player casts in a sorcery, I draw a card.
Well, technically, you would have to resolve this
That first?
quandary
Okay.
first.
Would
I'm
you
gonna,
not be able to stack them the way you want?
So he would stack it, you would put yours on the stack, yours would
Yeah.
resolve, then his
Yeah.
would resolve.
Okay.
so I have to stack mine first.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you got 2?
It just
Yeah.
makes it so he can't draw a card and then discard it to it
Right.
in this instance.
All right. I'm now at 2. I draw a card, and I'm going to do 1 damage to Skirk Prospector.
All right. I think I'm going to sacrifice the Legion War.
Whoa!
This is a good card.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful
You can't
card.
target Krenko, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Getting down to Cranko.
All right. And now
He's
we are
got boots up.
still.
So now we're here.
Oh,
Switch
now.
around.
So the Blazing Salvo is happening.
Okay, so first two at,
Yeah, 3 damage.
oh, 3 at half.
Yes.
And does it burn because you already chose both targets, right?
Yep. And the second one fizzles.
Okay.
So I am going to pass the turn.
Okay.
At least there's only 3 goblins.
That was a lot of goblins down.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Untap. I'm not going to pay for the vault, so I'll lose a life. And then I will draw a card. I'm going to play this Cavern of Souls as my land for the turn. Cavern of Souls, as it enters, I'm going to choose a creature type. I think I'm going to choose goblins.
No, elves. Elves.
Oh, it was so close,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
Cavern of Souls, you can tap it for a colorless mana, or I can tap it for 1 mana of any color, and when I spend this mana to cast a creature spell of the chosen type, goblin, it can't be countered. Alright, I am going to tap that for a red. 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 mana total. And I'm going to cast this uncounterable goblin spell, Siege Gang Commander.
Start throwing goblins around.
So when Siege Gang Commander comes into play, I'm going to put 3 1/1 red goblin
No.
creature tokens into
Before
play.
it can enter play, you have to cast it.
That is true.
Quandary.
I got
gonna
a
trigger
painful
painful
quandary. I'm going to pitch this mountain.
All right.
You guys don't like your mountains.
Yeah, they got lots. For,
I needed them in the beginning, and now I don't want them. So, is there any effects to Siege Gang Commander? Any responses?
What does he do again?
When he comes into play, I put 3 1/1 goblin creatures tokens into play. I can pay to sacrifice a goblin. Siege Gang Commander deals 2 damage to target creature or player.
Yeah, nothing from me.
Nothing here.
Okay.
So on the ETB, it's going to trigger impact tremors.
And I'll deal 4 damage to each of my opponents.
And I forgot a trigger.
Oh, no.
On my end step, I had a tapped creature.
Oh.
oh, yeah, you did 1.
So I do 1 damage total.
I mean, yeah, we'll take the damage. Yeah.
So 1, and now
Yeah.
And now
4?
Yeah, no. Yep. And I am gone.
All right. I think it was at 23.
I will
Yep,
take
it
it.
tells you. Good, keep
My
track.
staff of the mind, Magnus.
The
Okay.
goblin might pull us out of the fire.
The throne.
Is exiled. I will activate Skirk Prospector, sacrificing one of these goblins for a red, and then I'll tap 2, and I will cast a Goblin War Chief. Goblin, I don't know why I cast them in this order, but here we are. Goblin War Chief says, goblin spells I play cost 1 less to cast, or 1 less to play,
Yep.
and goblins I control have haste. I'm going to trigger my impact
You
tremors.
got Quandary first.
I absolutely do. What am I going to pitch here?
You could just take 5 life.
Yeah.
That's,
Five's the
that,
best.
that might be
You
it.
could. You could take 5.
I'm going to
You have the choice.
discard this crashing drawbridge,
Yeah.
put that in my yard, and then impact tremors will resolve unless you guys ever did it.
Nope.
Okay. I am going to tap Krenko. I'm going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Yeah,
goblin
paste.
tokens. Any responses to that?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, what's Anthony got? I hope.
All right, I'm going to deal 7
So-
damage to each of my opponents.
11.
All right, I am going to move the Lightning Greaves over to the Goblin War Chief. I'm going to sacrifice a goblin to Skirk Prospector to add a red to my pool. I'm going to pay 1 and tap the 1,000-year elixir to untap Krenko. Any responses?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to tap Krenko again to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 13 goblin tokens.
So
Any response?
in response,
Has to be. Yeah.
In response, I fold.
I'm
Yeah.
going to pay 5 and cast Evacuation and return all creatures to their owner's hands.
Okay. I do have a response to this. I'm going to sacrifice all 8 of these goblin tokens to add 8 red to my mana pool. I'll just keep that there. And then I will sacrifice. Do I need a siege gang? I'm going to sacrifice the Siege Gang Commander to Skirk Prospector to add another red to my mana pool. And then I will sacrifice this Goblin Trojans to add another red to my mana pool. And then I will
Still got more blue?
pass priority. No responses.
Okay.
To the bounce.
To the
Then it
bounce, yeah.
happens.
Okay. Well, you would have another chance to respond if you wanted to at this point.
No.
Why didn't you end him?
Why didn't I end him?
Yes.
I'm going to do that right now.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. I don't
Okay.
like the sound of that.
So tokens don't go band to hand.
All right, Krenko trigger will resolve, and I'll put 0 goblins into play since
Okay.
I control 0 goblins. Using the 10 red floating, I'll go down to 7. Cast the Goblin War Chief. Trigger Impact Tremors, deal 1 to each of my opponents.
Oh, he's going to play all his goblins and sap.
I'm going to go from 7 to 4, paying 3 mana to cast Krenko Mob Boss.
Yeah.
Trigger Impact Tremors.
1.
I'm going to move the Lightning Greaves over to Krenko. No responses. I'm going to
You got us both, maybe.
pay 1, Cactus Skirk Prospector, deal 1 to each of my opponents. I'm going to pay 1. I'm going to cast this Legion Loyalist, deal 1 to each of my opponents. I'm going
Oh, on these casts.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just
Quandary.
cheating over here. All right.
We
so
can rewind it, or you can take the.
I think what I would do here is discard this card and then take 15,
You sure? Yeah, well, we can do that.
go down to 6.
Okay, and that's for your last cast you discard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was getting a little excited.
So were we. Yes.
Yeah, I got lost.
Different type of
Lost in
excited.
the goblins.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to then tap Krenko, and I'm going to make 4 1/1 Goblin tokens, unless anyone has any responses.
You know what? I'm gonna tap this for 2, tap and sack the elixir and gain 5 life.
Okay.
And then shuffle this in my graveyard back into my library.
Okay. I will. Is there a good one to sack here? Not really. I guess I will. Do I have lethal on anyone? Kind of 4, 6, 7, 8.
He might have saved himself there. Do you want to cripple
I
blue
think
or take
what
me
I'm
out?
going to do is I'm going to use the 2 mana. Oh no, they need haste. They need haste.
You do have haste.
Well, I was thinking about sacrificing him, but
They have haste right now.
But not if he's not on the
but
board.
not if I get him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Before combat.
I think what I'll do is I'll let this 2 red empty from my pool and move to combat. I will declare. We'll go. Try to even these life totals out if I can. Maybe I should just kill someone. I'm just going to declare
Can you do 10? Or
4, 6, 7 damage against you, Greg.
Yeah.
Prospector coming in for you for just the 1.
Okay.
You sure you don't want to do 1 less against me?
It's tempting, but
That's okay.
Yeah,
The goblins, I'm proud of them.
No block.
the goblin.
Any response? No, I take the 7.
1.
Black screen!
A little lost in the goblin sauce when that was going on.
Yeah.
Second main phase, I'm going to tap this Worn Power Stone for 2. And I'm going to move Skull Clamp onto one of my goblins. Going down here, and I'll draw 2.
Do it again, I'm guessing.
And then, yep, I will do it again. And I'll draw 2 more. Okay. And I guess I still have the Skirk Prospector here.
Quandary, remember to just
Yes.
still out.
No, it's fine. I'm just going to pass the turn.
All right.
See if you can get there.
Untap.
It's a close one.
Yeah, it's
Keep and
close.
draw. I'll play Swamp. Now's the time to do it. I'm casting Exsanguinate. Let's do black, black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to cast Exsanguinate for 6.
Oh.
Okay. X is equal to 6?
Yeah.
Well,
You got
I,
10 in there, yeah.
I don't think I have anything for this. So
Wow.
Okay.
I think I have no responses, and I think Exsanguinate's
Nice
going to take
keeper,
it.
yeah. All right.
Wow.
Very nice.
Congrats.
All right.
Good game.
Good game.
Good game.
Yeah, good game, man.
Good game.
Good game.
Shakes the Goblin Master's
Good
hand.
game.
Yeah, good game. Well, that ended.
Right.
Woo. Anybody's game. I thought he was gonna take it. You always have something.
Yeah.
Was that your top? Oh, you had lots of cards in hand.